This is truly the best way to end the week right here. It is the Rock and Roll Happy Hour on Alt 94.9. A beautiful Friday evening with two beautiful faces on my Zoom call. It is Jeremy. It is time for us to sit back and drink beer. Can't look how Kevin cranes his head a little bit. What do you mean, beautiful faces? With me tonight, as always, our San Diego indie beer evangelist, Mr. Ken Wright, who has shaved since last week's episode. Also, we've got Kevin Hopkins from Mother Earth Brewing Company. Welcome back. A lot has changed since the last time we talked, my friend.
Yeah, in particular, we're nowhere close to being with each other today. So, it's our annual get-together. Being able to sit across from each other and laugh is now socially distanced, sit across from each other and stare at each other on a screen and laugh.
Well, the nice thing about this is I don't have to excuse Ken's behavior when he will occasionally break wind in the studio while we're talking. Because now
I'm doing something right now.
Because now when he does it,
and we all have beards now too. So I had to get into the club with you guys.
Oh, that is a fantastic beard, by the way. I mean, I need a screenshot of that as a screensaver just for my computer because it's so magnificent.
There you go. It's like Santa Land.
If I can just cover the eyes and the forehead, the rest of me will be gone.
We'll talk about that later. So yeah, last you and I had a conversation. You were getting ready for a big anniversary party, and then it struck.
Yeah, the ironies of life, if you will. 2020 is our 10th anniversary. May was going to be the big festival. We had 18 guest breweries that were all locked in. We had 4 collabs that were already in recipe derivation. It was all going great. And the next thing you know, things came to a full and screeching halt. So it is what it is. And, we're just fortunate and very happy that we were able to get ahead of it a little bit and talk about doing some other things and take care of the folks out there as opposed to just celebrating ourselves because there's a lot more out there to deal with.
So with taking care of yourselves, there's been some changes in what's gone on with Mother Earth. I mean, you guys aren't on downtown Main Street Vista anymore.
Yeah.
And we can get your beer not only in a lot of places around San Diego, but you also do a lot of delivery too, don't you?
We did all the usual places are still selling and serving. We still got beer going out. Trucks are shipping out every day. We do the curbside at the Thibodeau production facility at our original Vista Brewery as well. We were running delivery ourselves initially back in March. We stood up a delivery program really, really fast. We've since sunsetted that. And now we're using other companies and such. So you can order online, go to our website, and we've got the links and get everything covered. We're not doing as much direct to consumer delivery anymore. And the main reason for that is the demand is super, super high, but there ended up being some issues with some of the delivery services not being able to check IDs and everything because of the distancing. And so rather than put anybody at risk or to help someone make a poor decision, we elected to stop doing that particular type of routing.
Smart. I know that's been a point of contention for a lot of businesses. The reason we can't get involved with a lot of virtual beer festivals is because we can't guarantee 100% of the IDs are checked when beer is dropped off. So it makes it a difficult position for any company. So I totally get.
I left my ID in the car. Do you want me to go get it?
No, Ken, you've already been checked. You're fine.
My brother's got my ID. It's right out in the car, man.
Get the number memorized, right?
Yeah.
So with all the beer that's out there, I know it's time to sit back and drink a beer. I love you for starting the program off with this one. You get a can crack from me. There's Ken's little lunchbox.
What I call him a Milwaukee lunch pail.
I feel like we're going to school together here, Ken.
It's awesome. I got a peanut butter sandwich again.
Do you? It's just peanut butter or PB&J?
PB&J with the string cheese and some mini carrots. It's awesome.
Oh, well, I've got a pimento sandwich on wheat and a banana. It's been there, half a banana, really.
Oh, pimentos and bananas.
That sounds like a strange and tragic story.
That sounds like something I would raid the fridge at like 3:00 in the morning to eat because I know I need something in my stomach before I go to sleep.
I grew up and went to school in a different time and age.
Oh, man. Calculash and Fresca.
So, Sierra Madre Talk to me
Yeah.
about this. This is kind of like this is your ultimate session San Diego-ish. It's hot outside. I need a refreshing beer kind of brew, isn't it?
Boys, I'm so excited about this beer. You know, we have been so fortunate with our success over the years that we've never had tank time and space available to be able to do lagers. And we talked about doing a whole separate lineup, really a second brewery doing nothing but lagers. So we were putting out other beers as well, like Call Me Ginger, Born Blonde, but they're ales, but they came down to that lower alcohol. We were finally this year able to go national with a sub 5% super easy drinking Mexican style lager. And it is just the only downside is what was the national launch date? April 1st.
Oh no!
But
Sorry, man.
it's still taken off and gone crazy, and couldn't be happier. It's part of the long term. It's here forever kind of deal. So cheers to each of you on that.
Thank you for this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Since it is, it's currently 88 degrees in my garage. This is just a delicious, perfectly chilled, crushable beer. There's not a lot of flitz and flair behind it. You get that subtle Mexican lager flavor, that hint of corn.
Yeah, there's got to be some corn in this. Yeah.
Yep, there certainly is. You absolutely got some flake. You got everything else to it that you would expect. And you've got one other thing that we did. We used nothing but high quality, genuine, non-gimmicky ingredients. Yet we were able to put this out at $7.99 recommended price point. And so it's not just a great Mexican lager. It's also a great price point for anyone and everyone.
All right, well, now clarify this. What do you mean by no gimmicky ingredients?
Well, I'm sure I have an internal bias, and part of it's because we're known for some beers that has some flavor to them and everything else. But everything we do is of the highest quality standards. I just had a long conference call earlier this morning where we're talking about a new product, and we're going through the cost of putting that product together. And even though there may be a flavor to it, we're making sure that we're using all natural ingredients at the highest quality at every step and stage. We don't shortcut anything. So when it comes time to something like this, where we say we can put out a new item and put out a beer and do it at a really aggressive price point, it's not because we shortcutted anything in the process, procedure, or the ingredients. So we're only using the best. We're just able to do it at a point to say, all right, we can now put some beers out at some better pricing.
And this one I can find anywhere, right?
Anywhere and everywhere. It's hitting all the shelves now. Your grocery stores are starting to bring it in, but you can certainly find it at places like your regular Whole Foods, BevMo's, Trader Joe's, all that kind of thing. The grocery stores take things over time, so they've started rolling it out. So we have some states that it's on every shelf. Down here in Southern California, it's just starting to hit the shelves in the major grocers, but we do anticipate to see it anywhere and everywhere.
Now that we are in, we're past mid-July. These are the summer months of San Diego, all the way through. I give it through October, November. Sometimes it feels like with those late summer heats or those just late heats in the year. This is a perfect beer from this point on to the rest of the year. In fact, I mean, it's a hell of a price point and an amazing, delicious beer. And the best part is, it goes back to support San Diego. Doesn't get much better than that.
The guy that actually, we have an exterminator comes by our home, and he actually was here just before we guys went on air today. And I sent a couple of these with him afterwards, and he's like, this is the perfect after all day in the sun working at people's homes. I'm going to crush these things.
Well, I've crushed mine. I think Ken's just been sitting there going, my glass is empty. We're going to start off the program with this, finish off our Tierra Madre, and possibly grab another can between now and our next beer. It is the Rock and Roll Happy Hour on Alt 94.9. Oh, man. Damn, that's good.
Yeah, it's lovely.
I mean, everything I'm saying is 100%. I cannot tell you how many years we've been fighting to try to get this out. It's just, if it hadn't been for the tanks, I mean, everything, this road to get to this beer has been a long one. But man, I'm happy we're here. I love this beer.
Are these all coming out of Napa?
100% of all of our cans now come out of Nampa, which was one of those little ironic twists of fate with COVID. We had just closed down the canning line in Vista in January.
Wow.
And what we've done is we've quadrupled our can production up in Nampa, and that's also part of the Nitro program. We had to consolidate. So we still do draft. We do 100% draft here in Vista, but all these cans are Idaho cans.
Cool.
Idaho cans.
So what are you doing out of the Vista facility?
So Vista runs all of Southern California. It still services some international markets, but it's 100% draft, and it's still running at max cap. It's just because it's a huge market for us. So we have the ability just to run draft out of Vista, and most everything else comes out of Nampa. Hawaii was also coming out of Vista, but our distributor in Hawaii just got purchased by somebody, and we work with them already in Pacific Northwest, and now they're starting to pull beer from up north. But our international markets ship out of here as well. So Asia, Europe also come out of Vista for draft.
So I can go overseas, not that I would be traveling right now, and I can find this beer on draft.
We had the number one craft beer in South Korea for a couple years running with a Buku, and then Cali came in second. We're also really big in China, Europe, Denmark, Sweden, UK. They sell well.
That's ridiculous.
13 foreign markets, but that's not, my rule has always been that I'll never sell to somebody else when we still have room to sell here. So it's only been because we can, not because we ever needed to or wanted to, had to. Australia actually just launched too. Australia just launched July 1.
Get out of here.
First beer's just
get out of here.
Super stoked.
Actually, I want to hit that, and then let's also hit on the fact that that Chris has been upped to Dobo, and that you got Brett in there. Is he doing anything, or do you want to save that for the collab beer?
Yeah, we could do it. I mean, that works well with the collab because it is kind of funny. The story of him, he started the day before we actually had to start laying people off. He literally started, I think it was March 15th or whatever it was.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I remember.
The day everything started locking down. And so there is a story behind that. That poor guy has survived through, and now he's finally getting to brew. And we're allowing him, the whole idea of bringing him down here so we can have someone creating their own recipes here locally. So he is a true head brewer. It's a great thing for him. So there's a good story, wherever you want to put it.
We'll stick it with the collab beer. Let's do the next checkpoint on the list. Let's talk about the loss of the Main Street tasting we've already hit on. But let's get into the fact that anticipated next year we're going to do the new brewery.
Yeah, you got it. Love that view, Ken.
It's not bad. Where do you live?
So I'm San Marcos. Twin Oaks Golf Course? Off of Twin Oaks Boulevard in San Marcos?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
So, I mean, if you get off the 78, Twin Oaks takes you all the way out to Deer Springs.
Right.
The golf course is halfway through. We live at the golf course. So
gotcha.
I'm off of hole number 3 here. Look like you're facing San Pascal. Is that you guys are facing out?
Actually, right behind me, Lake Wolford is up that way.
Oh, so yeah, so you're Valley Center facing the Lake Wolford Valley Center area.
Yeah, Lake Wolford is to my right, in that direction. The San Pasqual Valley.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, I only deal with Lake Wolford because I sat on the jury for Jane Dorotek for 4 months when we convicted her of murdering her husband out there.
Oh, Jesus.
That's deep.
People, they are something else. I love the Lake Wolford Cafe. As soon as I'm let out of quarantine, I'm going up there for some catfish.
Is Smokey still around up there, or has Smokey since passed?
Boy, Smokey.
Yeah, he used to run that place with him and his missus.
Oh yeah, I think he changed ownership about 3 years ago.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah.
And they do catfish, huh?
Yeah, they do a catfish fry.
Fantastic.
Oh, I'm a big fan. That takes me back to my Texas days.
Oh, I did they did some fried catfish for us in the morning when I was still promotions director at Kason. We did Cliff and Company's hometown handshake tour from Smokey's Lake Wolford Cafe.
Awesome.
And we had fried catfish at like 8:00 in the morning. It was so good.
Man.
So good. All right, we ready to Cali cream in it? Oh, and I picked the can that I dropped yesterday too. Perfect.
Oh, nice. This ought to be good. It's the money shot.
It's already open.
That's okay. Went from the ground up.
Yep. Here we go.
Also, just a heads up too. I think the pool guy is here. So
I mean, there were sirens in the back of Kevin's last bit.
Yeah.
There'll be a pool guy in yours. I'm sure my children will run in. It's all part of live radio. It
Well,
just
Awesome.
if you get a can of beer into the pool guy's hand,
just pull him into the frame. He can sit here and judge the beer with us.
I mean,
Hey,
it's
Ryan,
COVID.
just,
It's
stand
COVID. There
over
are no rules.
I love it. All right. You know, if the first beer wasn't enough to get you hooked, the next beer 100% will be. It is the Rock and Roll Happy Hour on Alt 94.9. It's Jeremy with me, our San Diego indie beer evangelist, Ken Wright. We've also got Kevin Hopkins from Mother Earth Brewing Company talking about, well, everything that's gone on since the last time we had them on the radio, which wasn't too long ago, considering they were planning a huge anniversary in May that didn't happen. 10 years brewing, and everything is changing. We talked earlier about your brew house, or not your brew house, your tasting room you had in Main Street Vista downtown is now gone. So you're working out of the original production brew house for pickup and to-go orders, which is nuts. But, I mean, are we going to get a Mother Earth tasting room again? This wasn't COVID related, was it?
No, it actually wasn't. It was COVID coincidental.
COVID coincidental.
We actually, as all of our fans know, and many folks have come and visited us, we opened the Main Street Tap House in June of 2012 in historic downtown Vista, back when that was part of a whole redevelopment. And we were the only ones down there from a hospitality portion, us, and there was a restaurant a couple doors down. Now you've got, I think, 5 different brewery entities that are down there, a number of restaurants, a lot of craft-centric places, and it's phenomenal. But the ownership came up on our building, and it came time for us to decide whether or not we would stay there or if we would look someplace else. And we ultimately made the decision that we would like to build a brand new place for us. We are certainly staying here. San Diego is our origination. It's a strong home for us. We're not going anywhere. So we're very excited that we've got a new place coming. I wish I could tell you exactly when it's going to open. I was kind of thinking earlier as we were kind of talking about doing this show is that it's not going to happen probably this year. We have a place in mind. We're already building it, but we're literally building it, and so that takes time. And with everything going on with the current landscape, we want to make sure we open at the right time. But it will still be in North County. We're very, very excited about what it's going to be, and it's going to be a rad place. We're doing the right type of investment. We're not just going to open up some place. We're going to open up the place.
Really? So this is kind of building a place with all of the tenets of Mother Earth Brewing Company worked into it.
It's going to be everything that has been our history, and then we've actually are hiring people to come in and tell us how to take it to the next level as well. So we're using consultants as well as our own background and experience to make sure we do the right thing for our consumers.
I can only imagine the psychedelic experience it will be walking into your tasting room for the first time whenever it gets opened in 2021.
That 60 acid vibe, it's still out there, and we need it more than ever.
I mean, it's on the can of the next beer we're drinking. This is something you blew my mind with last time we got to sit across from each other in the studio. This is Cali Creamin' Vanilla Cream Ale Creamsicle.
Creamsicle, you got it.
I have never had fever dreams about a beer until you introduced me to this beer, and still to this day, this is one of those. I will grab it anytime I see it.
I floated around the pool with one of these yesterday, and it was indeed an out-of-body experience.
So, given the name Creamsicle, you think, how does that translate to a beer? Is it going to be like a milkshake? Is it going to be a pastry? No. I mean, Kevin, you'll probably explain it better than I am. Well, how did this all form?
Well, obviously Cali Creamin' has been a flagship for us out here in Southern California and remains so. And the folks that did visit us at the Tap House got variations on that, right? So we did peaches and cream, we did strawberry, we did a horchata version. We've done all different types of Cali family extensions on a local basis, either in cask or just in draft down here at the Tap House. We've always had a concept to start expanding the Cali family out to the marketplace and get it to people. And so Creamsicle has always been our number one lineup. And it took us 18 months of development, because what's kind of unusual is that, Cali Creamsicle doesn't actually have any cream in it. There's no lactose in Cali Creamin' on it. It's a beautiful cream ale. We add that Madagascar vanilla to it. You get that perception of creaminess, but it's only coming from that and from the malts. So when we actually started developing this beer and we added Valencia orange to it, and it's an all natural Valencia orange that we put in, we realized that it still had a little too much astringency, too much bite. So we added some lactose, some milk sugar back into it. That gave it to the next level. So it's 100% straight Cali with the addition of two things, a little bit of lactose and some Valencia orange. Here you go. Now you've got the ice cream truck going down the street and you want that 50-50 creamsicle bar perception. This is the beer for you, but it's still got a dry finish. It's not overly sweet.
Yeah, and you know what? You don't get all the sticky fingers from the meltiness running down the stick. Where is the stick, by the way?
Ken, I came prepared. I've got one for you right here.
There you go. Yeah, what is it? The retro olfaction on this is incredible. I mean, you'd swear you had just eaten a 50-50 bar.
But I think the one thing to stress about this is the drinkability of this beer. It's when you drink a pastry stout or you drink a milkshake, it's you can have half of a glass, half of a pint. This you drink, it's refreshing, it tastes good, it's delicious,
it's light.
It's light, and you just want to drink more. In fact, I probably drank more than I should have of this last night.
Oh, should is such an unfriendly word, Jeremy. Don't use that ever again.
Okay, well, while you verbally abuse me, do you have something to add, Kevin?
Well, I was just gonna say, it just makes me super proud of our brewers, and I love to hear you guys reflect that. I mean, it's what we hear from our fans as well. It's just, it's a 5% easy drinking beer that they worked so hard on to get that balance right, because they want it to be a crusher that every guy, gal, beer consumer, anyone can sit there and say, I would drink that. And then many say, I have to drink that. And that to me is the compliment. I don't want anyone to feel like we're letting them down. And these beers, everything, there's a list. I call this thing in my office. You can't find it on the wall, but it's there every day. It's the list of things that do not suck. And so that's what I always looking for, is that anything we do has to be on that list. And so I'm always, just stoked whenever we can do something like this. So it's here to stay. This is the latest edition.
Well, I'm glad you talk about your list of things that do not suck, because we're going to take a break, play a couple of songs. I'm going to finish this glass, and I'm definitely going to drink one of the beers that does not suck and happens to be my favorite double IPA. It's on the way. It's the Rock and Roll Happy Hour on Alt 94.9. Yeah, last night's stream, I was raiding on Destiny, and I want to say 6 hop diggities in one of these to finish off my night.
Oh man.
I salute you, sir.
I went to bed around 3:00 in the morning, and my children woke me up at 7. It's been a day.
Oh my. Oh my. Yeah, that's the thing about those dippas. They're nice and silky and smooth. They just keep on going down.
Well, the hop diggity, I mean, that is just, I cannot oversell that beer when I'm bartending or when I'm just writing a blog about great double IPAs. It's just a no-brainer.
Well, the nuggets for you, Ken, are two things. One, that's an original legacy beer. So, when we opened the brewery, Kismet and Hop Diggity were original flagships. And the second thing is that although Hop Diggity is at the end for 2020, coming January, it's coming back full time. It'll be a year-round DIPA moving forward. So awesome. We haven't had a year-round DIPA since we sunsetted this 4 years ago and put it into the Resonator program. So that's, we feel the same way. I feel the same way. We haven't had it, and it's been such an outstanding beer. I mean, Citra is still such a great hop. And
well, it's a crowd pleaser. I would people would come into PCH and they would ask for somewhat, more hyped double IPA brands. And we didn't have them, and I would give them a hop diggity, and their eyes would light up like a kid on Christmas morning. It's like, what is this? It's like, this is your friend, is what this is.
I always love to hear it. Again, we get caught in the Cali thing out here, but Cali's only our number one beer here in Southern California. Our IPAs lead everywhere else in the country. So it's interesting. It's always great when folks sit there and say, man, they're Buku fans, they're Diggity fans, anything that we do other than Cali, although we love Cali.
I love the Cali became the defining beer for your guys' brewery. It's so perfect.
It really is, and that was part of this whole thing of bringing Creamsicle was just acknowledging the fact that you play to your strengths. We're known for something, we own something, and so we should take that and use it to our benefit and create great things for people, and not just try to keep up with the Joneses. So instead, we go the direction of let's add to the line, let's create a family.
Well, I know we've already hit the 30-minute mark for you, and I don't want to run you much longer. So we're gonna try and get through these next ones. So
Yeah,
you can.
yeah, whatever works for you. I'm open. So I mean, obviously it's for you in the edit. So, but yeah, don't worry about my time.
All right, perfect.
I'm completely good. I was going off. You told me 30 minutes, so I thought you'd shorten everything down. So.
You know what? Now that I've got the Zoom subscription, it doesn't matter. This call can go on for hours.
I almost gave you shit because I was going to say, wait a minute, how could it be rock and roll happy hour if you're taking it down to a 30-minute program?
Never.
I tried. It's just not as fun. We don't really start getting into the groove until about, I don't know, 13 minutes into it when that first beer starts to take
wait
effect.
for the alcohol to kick in.
Well, yeah, and of course, I brought out my little pour bucket here, and it's not getting used because here we are midday day drinking for sure. I'm like, oh no, I'm finishing that beer.
Cool. Yeah, thanks. It's night and day.
He said pour bucket. That's hilarious. All right, so with this, let's talk about its full-time status, because last time we were alluding to it, and you didn't know when it would be coming back, but coming back January of 2021 full-time.
Yep.
Let's get it.
Let's do it.
Oh man, there it is. As I pour the beer into my glass, I can smell the hops pouring out of it, and it makes me so happy. It is the Rock and Roll Happy Hour on Alt 94.9. It's Jeremy with Ken Wright and Kevin Hopkins from Mother Earth Brewing Company on a Zoom call in my East County garage. Welcome to how I like to spend a Friday night. We've had two amazing beers from Mother Earth so far, the Cali Cream and Creamsicle and the Tierra Madre Mexican Style Lager, both amazing, especially in the heat of my East County garage. The next beer we drink, this beer right here, it could be the turning point for the program. At this point, I will take no responsibility for anything that happens. Hold your glass high, Hop Diggity Double IPA.
Oh yeah,
man!
You peak, you hold, you hope to sustain. Cheers.
Now, last time we were talking, you said this is in the Resonator series, and you were at the very beginning of getting this out to market. We are finally on the back end of that. This is the last this beer will be out there for 2020.
Yep, Resonator is actually going away. So we had 4 beers that have been rotating for the last 4 years. They were all hop-centric beers. We took 2 of our legacy brands, Kismet, the Nelson IPA, and then our Citra Dippa. We put Hop Diggity in there. We created 2 new beers. Now we've moved on and we've evolved, and we're going to go back, and we decided we needed to have a year-round Dippa. And so we're not going to reinvent that wheel again. We already had a flag that we helped build the company off of. And so effective first quarter next year, Hop Diggity will be available year-round, cans and draft on there. Kismet is going to play one more time for the next 6 months, so it'll be out to the end of the year. Kismet will still be out there, but Dippa is way to go. We're going back to Diggity.
So I get Diggity full-time in 2021, right?
You get it full-time starting 2021.
Yes! No hate on Kismet, but there's something about this beer that you've managed to take home. What's the ABV on this? You managed to take a 8.2% double IPA and make it as drinkable as any session IPA out there, with just all the rewards of flavor and mouthfeel and hops. You must use a different hop. There must be a unicorn hop in here that you're using that it just makes this beer so good.
Well, San Diego, West Coast style, everything that came out original of P&W and all of that, you had all of those great hops, and they're still great hops. Citra has been where it's been at for us, and this is a Citra base. We do add in a little bit of citrus to it, so you end up with a little bit of Mosaic, Simcoe, and the like on there to help balance that. But you need something that's got that nice West Coast resin to it. But at the same time, you don't want it to be cloying, so you don't want the malt bill to be too high, right? You want to be nice and balanced, but not too, silky and smooth, not sweet. And I just love this beer because it seems to kind of go right down the middle.
I'm at a loss as to how to classify this beer.
Delicious.
It is rich and juicy like a New England style IPA. It is dry and bold, like a West Coast IPA. And while, when sometimes you try to hybridize things, you get a mess that it's neither fish nor fowl. This is just everything you ever dreamed of in your glass, harmonizing perfectly.
And let's not say that this is a Mother Earth beer. Let's say any beer that is like this, that presents us this way. Doesn't it really take you back to the aspect that outstanding brewers make outstanding beers because they're not too over the top on any one level? Instead of trying to get a high gravity beer, and it's 8.2, so it is high, but it's not about the malts, it's about the hops. I mean, the hops just stand out, and the malts come secondary to this. And that's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. And that's all credit to the brewers.
Oh, it's nothing short of miraculous.
I have no words. I'm just sitting here enjoying what's in my glass.
On a Friday evening, I've got wind chimes going. The breeze is happening. It's 82 degrees. And I'm sitting here drinking this. I'm like, and the fact that I get to do it with a couple of friends just makes it all the better. And the beautiful part is I don't even have to kick you out of my house.
When you're done, all you have to say is end Zoom call, and you are out, yeeted, pulled.
No, this is definitive proof that life is good, right here.
It is good. Yeah. You know what? I got the perfect Daniel Love song to go along with this one.
Oh, yeah.
Just because it's Friday night, we're gonna throw this one in the mix. It is the Rock and Roll Happy Hour on Alt 90. Oh, good God! It is the Rock and Roll Happy Hour on Alt 94.9. Maybe I should have been using the dump bucket.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the dog next door.
Yeah, of course it is.
Oh,
that's Chase. He has anxiety issues.
Yeah, because the exterminator was here right before we went on, and my dog was going nuts. Yeah. So she's actually sequestered to the other side of the house, and she's pissed at me.
Well, you see, I'm glad the pool guy showed up because Coda loves the pool guy, so that kept Coda occupied for a while.
It was actually a really cool shot with Coda sitting on the edge, looking out amongst the fields.
Oh yeah, that's guard post Bravo. Guard post Alpha is over on the other side of the yard. Those are his two perches where he looks out for coyotes.
Yeah, you need me on that wall. You want me on that wall.
I can handle the truth, brother.
Well, from the frying pan into the fire, we've gone from one double IPA to the next.
Oh yeah, that was smart, wasn't it?
Yep.
Dude, I cannot dump this in good conscience.
No, drink it.
I'm feeling the same thing.
You guys aren't finished with your glass because I drank all mine.
All right, okay. I'll join you, Jeremy. I ain't scared.
All right, here, Ken. Here's us. Are we ready?
Oh, chugging double IPA at 12:30.
Double barreled.
Waste not.
Waste not, want not, for sure.
Hey, just real quickly, I'm unfamiliar with Zoom etiquette because I have no friends and I have no job. So, is there a setting I can put this on so it does a wide screen like what I'm seeing of you two?
So, do you only see one of us right now, or do you see both of us?
Both Kevin and Jeremy have the widescreen angle.
Yeah.
Whereas mine is that square.
4x3. Yeah.
I think it's just your phone. It's what your camera will do on your phone.
Or is it just because I'm a square?
I mean, it's you do have an iPhone from 1984, so I mean.
I do. The year you were born, Jeremy.
Well, hang on a second though. On your camera, Ken, if you go to your video settings, so in the bottom corner there where you have the video camera or whatever it's at on your screen, it's the same icon where it says stop video. There should be an arrow.
Huh.
We really shouldn't be doing this, should we?
I don't know if the phone has the same thing the computer has.
Yeah, well, there is a setting. If you go to video settings, you do get to select the difference between 16:9 versus pan and scan.
Gotcha. No, I'm just curious. Sorry.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's there.
didn't mean to distract.
Play with yourself later.
Sorry, I'm having fun here.
Oh, now the wind's coming up.
Still can't hear it.
Okay, good.
All right. So I guess now will be the time we can talk about Brett, his lineage and what he's doing.
That will be good.
And I'm just looking at all the breweries that were on this. I didn't get the full scope of everyone.
That hop diggity sure felt nice.
Yeah, it's going to be feeling even greater in 10 minutes.
Yep.
I am not going to be very productive today.
No, we're going to be sloppy.
I'm setting my alarm for my show when it starts, so that when I'm putting my son down after this, if I fall asleep,
there you go.
I'll have precisely 10 minutes to get my first voice track in before I'm behind time.
I got to get up and drive to San Jose tomorrow too. Maybe maybe I just won't go to sleep tonight.
Maybe you should just have another one.
I think I might.
There you go.
Do you know the way to San Jose? Is that how that goes?
Oh, no. God. Yes.
Thank you. Welcome to the circus. All right. Let's get into it. It's truly going from the frying pan into the fire when we chase one double IPA with another. It is the Rock and Roll Happy Hour on Alt 94.9. It's Jeremy with our San Diego indie beer evangelist, Mr. Ken Wright. We also got Kevin Hopkins from Mother Earth Brewing Company pouring some rather delicious beers for us tonight. We just wrapped up my favorite double IPA in the history of mankind, Hop Diggity. Had Cali Creamy Creamsicle, had Tierra Madre Lager. And so I saw this. This is what actually got me to text Kevin in the first place. I saw that there was a San Diego Brewers United double IPA, and on the list was Stone, AleSmith, Modern Times, Mother Earth, Pizza Port, Port Brewing Company, and Thorn Brewing. And I thought, man, I wonder what kind of collaboration went into this. I need to ask Kevin what happened. So we started talking, and give me the rundown on how all this came together.
Yeah, well, with everything going on, obviously, the community is trying to pull itself together. At the same time, we've been forced to stay apart. And so credit to Stone, when the San Diego Brewers Guild was letting everybody know that they were still here to represent us, to work on our behalf, Paige McWay, our executive director, and her team, the board of directors, have all been out there talking to the county, to the state, working with the California Craft Brewers Association. Yet at the same time, they're not making any revenue because, all the breweries are coming to, a slowdown, and that's impacted the trade organizations, everyone else. And they're a valuable part of getting the message out to us. And so credit to Stone, who stepped up and said, we're not just a brewery, we're also a distribution company, and we have some great partner brands. What if we did a beer that we could get some of our top brands together with and be able to collaborate on it and have the proceeds go back to support our local guild who's out there supporting us?
So it's a benefit beer for the breweries within the San Diego Brewers Guild.
It's for the San Diego Brewers Guild itself.
The
San Diego Brewers Guild is chartered with helping out the breweries. So there's been some media that's come out this past week talking about how the Brewers Guild is partnered with local agencies and with the community at large to be able to support, especially our smallest, breweries that are just entrepreneurs that have gotten into the business. They're doing great passion plays, yet now they're really, really struggling. And so they're going to be able to help them out, but they need resources to do it. And so this allows some of the larger, more well-known breweries to be able to come together and support the over 120 breweries that are here represented locally in San Diego.
That's really cool. So I know the social distancing and working in a brewery, that they're not the easiest things to manage. How did you guys participate in this?
Well, it was funny. They reached out to us. They said, hey, would you guys be interested and willing to participate? Here's the hook. We're going to brew the beer. We'd like you guys to help out with the recipe generation, but you can't show up and brew it with us because we have to maintain social distancing. So, Brett, who's our head brewer here in Vista, got involved. He started coordinating with their team. They had their Zoom calls, brought everything together. They created the recipe virtually online, and then Stone brewed it on behalf of everybody.
Sorry, that was my animal. All right. I know how to pick this up. Monster. Wait, you said Brett. I thought Chris Baker was doing all your brewing.
Yeah, so Chris Baker, who actually came to us from Stone quite a few years now, I think just over 5, almost 6 years ago. Chris was our head brewer here in Vista, and then Chris relocated back up to Idaho when we opened the facility there, and he was head brewing and overseeing both of our operations. And then when we got to the point that we realized that Chris was now doing that, which is a director of brewery operations, we actually promoted Chris last year, and he went out and he hired 2 head brewers. And so Brett started for us in, believe it or not, March, right when all of this went down.
Right.
Great pedigree. Our friends over at Garage Brewing had Brett on, and he moved over and joined us. And his lineage goes all the way back to the early 2000s. I think he started with Dogfish Head back in 2004.
Wow.
And so he's got a fabulous pedigree. Not to say nothing, but you hang all the medals from the arm larger than my arm. The guy's a phenomenal brewer, and he's going to do some fabulous things to help us come out with some creativity here locally and put his stamp on San Diego.
Well, I mean, I don't know what he contributed to this beer, but this is definitely a double IPA that's putting the hurt on me on a Friday night.
Wait, there's beer?
I know. It's like, hey, I got to pour mine.
I've been sitting here drinking it.
Old Chief Silvertongue here just had me so enwrapped. I completely forgot there was a beer to be drunk.
And this is my first taste of this. Our friends at Stone actually just brought this over to us Monday night and dropped it off at the brewery. They gave us a few cans to say thanks on it. And so I'm glad that it was available so we could talk about it here on Friday. And it's a double dry hop IPA, and it's the first taste I've had of it. Definitely, again, San Diego West Coast style, right? It's dank.
You're getting a lot more bitterness out of this than you got out of the Hop Diggity before. I'll tell you that right now. I don't know if
this is pushing the IBUs way up.
Oh yeah.
This tastes like Stone had a hand in it.
It is definitely aggressive in a good way.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. And it's a good contrast. I'm actually kind of glad that we had Diggity right before it. You couldn't do it the other way around, without a doubt. And so you had something that was nice and smooth and easy, and now you've got something that's kind of aggressive and fun and biting and just like, hey, this is a really solid, hey, let's hang out together beer.
I would say there's something about brewery ethos in there, but I will shut my mouth and take a break. When we come back, we've got one more beer coming up from Mother Earth Brewing Company. It's the Rock and Roll Happy Hour on Alt 94.9.
Yeah, wink, wink. Well done, Jeremy. Well done. Yeah, one is peace and love, and the other one is a dick punch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very glad we did Diggity before this one, because I got a feeling Diggity would not have tasted as good after this, because
you wouldn't have been able to taste it at all.
No, Diggity would have been like a soft whisper of what was that?
So here's how I compare it, and I can say this because we're on my YouTube VOD out of all this, but this is a beer that you drink when you're trying to prove a point. Cool.
Yeah.
Put it back in there, please. The other beer is a beer you drink because you enjoy drinking really good beer.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
So, if I can speak candidly here, while not violating the NDA that I signed when I was laid off.
Because remember, all this is public record.
That's right. It is. This definitely, this reminds me of why I used to drink Arrogant Bastard when it first came out.
Because you were a hipster?
Don't get me wrong. This is a delicious beer. But it is let's see what we can. It's like getting into your buddy's Camaro and seeing how fast it can go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a statement beer.
Yeah, it is a statement beer.
I kind of look at it as that you've got the Hey You beer and you got the F You beer.
Exactly.
No,
when when I said it tastes like Stone had a hand in it, I meant that it well, actually, I meant that in a number of ways, not all of which I should articulate in a public square.
Because that's how I took it.
Hey, you, F you.
Yeah.
And you know whose beer.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
and-
I totally, but it's
Yeah.
fun. I love it. I mean, I love it. I absolutely love it.
I do too. I mean, it's fun. I know Brett had a good time, and I felt really, really good that Brett could actually start talking to some brewers and doing something.
Oh my God, this is a 12.1%.
I know. This is stupid.
Oh my God, help us all. This is the point where Kevin will get no work done the rest of the day.
That's a good thing all my conference calls are done for the day.
Yes.
So that means everything I do from now on is contractual and it'll be dangerous. It'll be really bad.
I love it. It looks really good, Bubba. Thank you.
Ooh, man, it's got a nose, doesn't it?
Oh God, that's so good. You actually get the pecans out of that.
Sorry. Where were we?
We were just talking about how we're ending this segment with a 12.1% beer.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Let me just, I busted out my old double bastard glass.
You angsty
Yes,
little
that was
you.
smart. I should have brought. I actually have one of those glasses. I should have grabbed.
I gotta say, this is one of the coolest glasses I ever had, and the double gargoyle is kind of worn off at this point, but it is just, it's a thing of beauty.
You're gonna need it for this one. All right, so we probably want to hit the nitro program. What's the nitro coming into?
So then it'll be Nitro Cali, which will be releasing in cans hopefully by the end of the year. But we can hit that if you want. If you just want to talk nitro, because there's a couple things that we can do. If not, whatever.
All right, you know what? I'll give you a soft punch on this one. When we're talking about this beer, I'm going to ask you, have you ever thought about, since you're canning it, doing a nitro can just to smoothen it out a little bit?
That's a good way of doing it.
That'll be easy for it. All right, here we go. Sorry, the peanut gallery's cracking me up. I wish I could put a camera on my son on the other side, who's literally playing with the box that just got delivered and making an entire like role playing thing out of it. It's slaying me right now.
Like father, like son.
Yep, he'll be playing D&D before I know it. Oh no, this could be the one right here. This could be the one that does me in on a Friday night. I will be completely useless after this. But again, most Friday nights I am. It's the Rock and Roll Happy Hour on Alt 94.9. It's Jeremy with our indie beer evangelist, Mr. Ken Wright. We've got Kevin Hopkins from Mother Earth Beer. And we've been drinking some fantastic brews. Let's just put it this way. Every beer we've had tonight, I will drink again and in multiplicity. We've had the San Diego Brewers United Double IPA that their new head brewer had a hand in. We've had the Hop Diggity Double IPA, which I will probably have as a nightcap tonight. The Cali Cream and Creamsicle, the Tierra Madre Mexican style lager, and the beer we end with is 12.1% ABV. How dare you? How dare you?
At least we didn't start with it.
No, that would have set a tone for a whole different show, my friend.
Oh,
I mean, Tierra Madre would have been water at the end of the show.
No, I would have never done that. No, come on, please have more respect for my art than that. So, you guys have been doing your Four Seasons for how long now?
We stood up that program in the first quarter of 2014, and and I want to make sure I put a little asterisk on this. Everything we do is a collaborative team, family thing here at Mother Earth. Always has been. There's no one individual. We always do things together. When I came over, which coincidentally was 7 years ago, right this second, this is my anniversary of coming over to Mother Earth. One of the very first things I did was talk about sourcing barrels. And so, literally, when I started in July back in 2013, in August, Dan and I took a road trip, and I made a phone call to my good friend Todd Ashman, who was still up at 50/50 in Truckee at the time. And I said, "Hey, could we get some barrels from you?" And so we took a trailer and we loaded 26 barrels up in Truckee. We brought them back down and we stood up Four Seasons. And so the very first program started in 2014 and is released, quarterly with the Four Seasons ever since. So this is the latest offering. And again, I had a hand in the concept of it, but it still goes back to Chris Baker and all of our fabulous folks that do this. And so in this time, it's always different. The concept was that the seasons always stay the same, but the beer changes every time. So we don't repeat the beers. So this time it's a bourbon barrel aged barley wine with, depending on where you're from in the United States, it's either pecans or for someone like me, it may be pecans.
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 You guys
pecan pie.
Pecan pie.
Oh my god, the nose on this.
Bourbon on a porch swing.
This is ridiculous. Just the smell of this without drinking it is unbelievable.
Ah.
All right, this is the perfect quarantine beer. I think we found it.
Oh yeah.
It's a beer you could drink at any temperature. You can sit there and say, "Oh yeah, it's nice and silky and smooth when it's cold," but you let it temper and open up, and now you're like, "Man, this thing has flavor. It has layers to it. You can get that wood. You get a little bit of tannin from it. You get all the pecan flavor."
Dude, I have to salute you guys, because when people brew beers with pecans or macadamia nuts, getting that a really well-balanced, noticeable infusion of that flavor is hard to do, hard to do. But the pecans in this, balanced with the malt, with the barrel aging, dude, this is I'm misting up.
Are you tearing up, Ken?
Yeah, as a bourbon drinker, I salute you.
Well, yeah, it's funny you should say spirit like bourbon. There's some brands out there. Whenever I get back to Tennessee and visit our distributors there, they talk a lot about pecan whiskey, and boy, that stuff is really over the top. And so I was really, really concerned that when we did this, that it wouldn't balance. And that's what made me stoked when I first got a taste of it, because it doesn't have any of that overall cloying sweetness to it. Instead, it's really well balanced. And again, I think talking back to the quality ingredients, if you are going to add a flavor to any beer, it's got to be legitimate. Otherwise, it comes off in the wrong way every single time. So we went over the top and used all natural pecans to make sure that we found a right way of doing it, as opposed to using some flavoring that it just didn't taste right.
Well done.
I don't know what to say. This is much like a wine. I know it's a barley wine, but there's so many different layers and flavors to this that as I roll it in my hands in my now 86 degree East County garage, I feel like it's releasing more sweetness. It's releasing more depth of flavor. It's really just insane. I don't want to drink it. I just want to smell it.
This is a bourbon drinker's beer.
Yeah.
And I don't want to suggest, because there are a lot of bourbon barrel aged beers out there that are just booze and vanilla bombs. This is not one of those. The bourbon, the pecan, the malt, the dark fruits, everything is just harmonizing beautifully on this.
I've always been a huge advocate, and I learned this from my time in Lost Abbey, watching Tommy and all of our great folks there. We had such phenomenal people that continue to this day. It's all about the blend. I learned that you do tasting panels, you talk when Tommy and Dave and Gwen and everybody go around and do all these blind tastings, and to find out that you need to take the best of the best and make sure you're making a cuvee every single time. That to me was always the secret. And Chris luckily came in and he didn't have to be convinced of that. He already knew it. And so it was never about just putting out something because it was in a barrel. It was only putting out the right thing because he had blended the barrels properly.
Now, this can't be something that just sits on a shelf somewhere. I mean, we've probably got to go find this Where?
You need to go find it now. You won't find this in grocery stores. This is going to be at your favorite little place. All those great independent liquor stores. You can certainly get it at the brewery as well. Because guess what? This is the last one. The next one is coming, and so this will be gone before the next one releases here shortly.
Let me ask you
All
something.
right,
You put this in a can. Sorry to cut you off, Ken, but
that's right.
I can't help but think.
That can's almost as tall as Ken.
I was going to say,
sorry.
and besides,
I'm sorry. Am I the only one that saw
cut
that?
me off a long time ago, Jeremy.
I can't help but think a beer like this may benefit from, I don't know, being in a nitro can.
Yeah, you know what? Nitro does so much for beer, and believe me, we've been a big believer in that as well. And we've spent 4 years looking at nitro, and we now own equipment that adds nitrogen to beer. And I know I was telling you guys that we may have a little something coming, so I'm happy to say it. Nitro Cali in a 16-ounce can is coming.
I'm done. I'm vindicated. Dude, if there was any better way to end the program tonight, I could not think of a better one. Nitro Cali in a big can. Oh my God.
I said we'd put a man on the moon before the decade was over, and we did.
Do this thing and the other.
And on that note, we are done. We're wrapping up with this. We will see you next Friday night, 7 o'clock, right here on Alt 94.9 for the Rock and Roll Happy Hour.
Guys.
It is so much fun to hang out with you guys. Thank you. Good night.
Love you guys. Thank you.